So we have a man boy problem in this country, and it's I got to talk about it. Man child, man boy, I don't know what you want to call it. And I can't even talk about it. There's a real man boy problem in this country, and it's never been worse. And I know I sound condescending. I have been man boy before. Maybe sometimes I still am. That's why I pose this. But I've noted I talk about things on here that really get me fired up. And today I jotted that down because I just kept seeing it everywhere I went. Everything I watched, they're happening to check out. The last couple of days, I'm like, man, it's just gotten to me. And I'm sure you guys see the same thing, but it's like an all time high. And there's a difference between having fun and just being a jackass. And so many of these grown adult males, these American males, I'm I'm embarrassed just watching them. I'm embarrassed just how they behave. Like you can go to your sports games, you could do all that stuff, but my heavens, there's zero awareness and there's zero, you know what? And I'm all about originality. I'm all about being unique. I'm all about being yourself. That's what all my videos are about. It's not about that. It's not at all about that. It's not about quirks. It's not about, let me gather my thoughts. It's about just respecting yourself and the space around you. You can cheer and have fun and do things. I'm not even talking into this thing. Where I see it the most, where I see it the most is, you're just out at a restaurant or a bar and these guys are just going on and screaming and yelling and all this other stuff for a stupid football game. You know, when I was younger, I used to think people went into the woods because they were crazy. Now I realize that they're just getting away from they're going into the woods because everyone else is crazy. Like I just want to be away from these people. I just want to be distanced. It's gotten to the point where I'm just like I'm embarrassed to be a guy. I'm embarrassed to be in front of some of these people, even if I don't know them. Most of the time, I don't even know these people. But you've had to have been there, and it's so many levels. I should probably jot out some stuff down. You know, from the car to the physique to the Rolex. It's not these items specifically. It's the way that these things are worshipped and thrown in your face. It's all these little stupid American guy things, or maybe they're just guy things, but I think they're really specific to American men. And I used to say the same things. And I look back, it's tough when you decide to change and really sit down and say, you know what, I'm sick of a lot of the habits I'm having. I'm sick of having a temper. I'm sick of drinking all the time. I'm sick of being overweight. Sick of you name it. There's a whole list. We all got the same list. But it's all these stupid cliche things like, if you don't make enough money, you're not a man and you don't provide. And I know some people are going to hear this the wrong way, but the people who watch, and by the way, thank you so much for everybody who watched any of these recent videos. There's a battle of you versus you. That's the only battle worth fighting. But it doesn't have to be a battle. It just has to be a nice, slow, even middle ground. But you have to change habits. And I guess that's why all these things jump out at me. I've massively changed a lot of bad habits I've had. And I'm still working on things. You're never a finished product, but you try your best over your life, I believe, to try to make things. I mean, the only way I could describe it is I feel like I've had a giant stick pulled out of my ass since I've done this. It's the only way I could really describe it. Is I just don't have even things that annoy me. I mean, I still get annoyed. I still get angry about things here and there. But I would say the things that make me angry are probably half as many, maybe even more. And I don't get as mad, even the personal stuff. When you start to sort out your shit, you'd be amazed. And the one, it's another cliche. What I say by man boy are these guys that say stupid shit. We all know them, and we worked with them. We're related to them. They say the same shit like, "Oh, if you're over 40, yeah, I don't have sex anyways. I'm out of shape. But come on, have a beer. It'll put some hair on your balls. Oh, you don't drink? What kind of man don't? All these stupid things. You don't watch football. You sure you're a man down there? All this stupid shit. Oh, are you late? All this, you know what I mean? If you don't make enough money, if you look like your appearance, don't make fun of your appearance, all this stupid shit that doesn't matter. What gets me is this. Oh, this is the one that always gets me. Is people don't change. The tiger never changes his stripes. That's it. You can't once you're. Especially the guys that are like, oh, once you're 40, that's it. You're never going to be in shape. That's just the way it is. You're just old. You're tired all the time because you're just old. Here, have a beer. Everything's fixed with a beer, just like Boomer. Have you ever seen that? But it's just crazy because that shit's all false. And I used to say some of these things. I used to be negative like that sometimes. I had that life where I was going 9 to 5. And I had my moments with my band. And on the weekends, I was a weekend warrior and I'd drink and have fun and think I was, you know what I mean? And think things were different for a minute and try to blank out the stuff you don't like. But then I'm right back to that negative cliche stuff. Oh, it's 8 hours, Oh, yeah. Work 65 years, retire and die. All that stupid negative shit. That's what I mean by a man boy. And there's several things. That's actually not why I started this video. The man boy stuff gets with like, I love music and I enjoy sports. I love sports my whole life. But man, I've had such a hard time now because I can't even go overboard like I used to. Like there's got to be you can't even explain it. Like there's a limit to this shit. But you cannot tell fans, you can't tell them anything. But I would never dare bring it up in public or because you can only speak amongst yourselves. That's what's kind of disappointing. I wish more people had an open mind because that's how you evolve. I change my mind on a minute by minute basis. If that's why I never hard believe anything. I mean, I do have things I kind of lean towards or believe, but that's subject to change all the time. But I go by the basics. Just be a good, decent guy. Just be a good, decent human being. When I mean, we all have that sensor in ourselves. It's whether you answer the call or not. And I guess that's what this is about with a man boy. And I guess it's not just the sports guys and the guys screaming and painting their bodies and doing whatever, or the guys with all the guitar tattoos and the Dimebag Darrell and the Randy Rhodes and the Eddie Van Halen. I think that's way. I mean, I live for this stuff. It's some of the stuff that gets me the most inspired. But I still understand that these, as inspiring as they all are, they're men just like I was. They're men and women just like we are. There's got to be a limit. There needs to be a limit. I'm telling you that. If you don't believe me, I'm just telling you. If you want to have a nice, balanced, healthy life, and pour some of that back into you, man boy. You know what I mean? These guys will cheer for the Patriots. You know what I mean? They'll cheer for their favorite bands. They'll go to the Stones and cheer. And I bring up the same old bands. I'm sorry. They go to the Rush show. I mean, here's here's a venue where I would on the regular. And this is Man Boy Central. But I think for Rush shows, I think for Rush night you get a pass. As long as you're not rude. See, to me, the man boy acts rude while doing all this crazy shit. If you see the guy with his family at the Bills game and he's acting silly, you can tell he's not drunk. He's just having a really good time. He's not swearing. He's being positive. He's respectful for the people and the space around him. That's not a man boy. That's a man. When you see the guys starting fights and talking shit to the other opposing fans and like picking stuff and like clapping in people's face, I mean, come on, man. It's way overboard. And guys lose themselves. And I've been surprised so many times with people I would think that are pretty cool. Then you see them out with a few beers or at a game and you're like, wow, like I don't want to be I don't want to be associated with that. And that's where I guess I find myself a lot too, sitting on, just sitting back thinking like, I don't want to just hang out and drink. So then I don't want to just hang out. Like we got to do something. There's more to do than drink and watch football games. And I used to think there wasn't. I really did. I used to think, man, I can't miss the game. There's a Thursday night game on. We got to watch. Like for what? And then you're ignoring your own goals, your own everything, your own life. You know that there's rooms you want to paint, there's additions maybe you want to do, there's projects, there's cars you want to rebuild, there's instruments you want to learn. Put more in that. You got to at least have, to me, the sense to know this is a little crazy. I'm much too much of a sports fan. I know if I took some of this time, maybe, it's bigger than just cutting out Thursday night football. I mean, it's a bigger picture thing, but I can't find that for people and I can't find that for you. You have to find that. But when you dig, I will say this, when you dig, the answers come. And it takes time, but the answers, you, shit just starts to clear up. And then you look back and you go, oh my God, I can't believe I used to do that. I can't believe I used to act that way. I can't believe I used to say that. So that's why I can't judge. And that's why I'm not, I try to talk about these things, but I'm so careful the way I choose my words because I'm not an expert in nothing. I'm not even an expert in J. So I like to discuss these things because maybe there's some people that are, I don't know why I'm doing these things. I'm doing these things to really vent. And then maybe I always like this too. I always think the videos that I watch that I get like, yeah, man, yeah, I totally agree. I would like to provide that for others because I get fired up. I drink a lot of coffee. I have a lot of, I'm going to be 47 next month. I got a lot on my mind. But I also got I got a lot of love in my heart. And that's why I can't point the finger and just say, oh, you're overweight or you're a bad person and you get too much of a temper, you drink too much. Absolutely no way. I will never say that. I want to help. I know it sounds stupid, but I really do want to help because I realize through doing my own changing that it's not that hard. It's not that far away. And you'll keep the best parts of yourself and your personality. I used to think, oh, if you stop drinking, you can't be fun. That's probably what man boy thinks. It's okay. It's okay, man boy. I used to think the same thing. I used to be terrified thinking like, man, like I'll probably always drink. Like I couldn't imagine doing whatever, this event without drinking, or playing guitar without drinking, or going to this thing without drinking. I can't believe I thought that. And I have so much more in my mind you can't really describe it, but I just try to pull others up with me because you can still go to the concerts, you can still rock out, you can still have fun, you can still be you. But you're gonna find you're gonna trim a lot of that shit out because you're not gonna want to hang out if your buddies are all man children, man boys. You're not gonna want to hang out with them, and it's called choosing. It's not judging. I call it choosing. It's called choosing yourself for once. You got to choose yourself. Quit yelling at the teams and the concerts. You know, I call it fanboy. Listen, we all fanboy for certain things, and I always will. And well, shouldn't say I always will. My mind changes enough. I'm having a hard time myself personally getting behind even a band like Rush. I know I sound nuts, but there's a lot more behind this music, and it's hard for me to just. I can't. You can't be a hypocrite to yourself. You just can't. There's no lying. Some people, well, I guess some people do, but I can't. So what do we do here? I don't know. Life's a long journey, and just don't be afraid to don't be afraid to change for the better. Don't be afraid what your friends are going to say. Fuck. I mean, screw, fuck all that. I'll swear. I don't care. Don't worry about that. You got to worry about the big picture. The time that's ticking by, reinvest some of that into yourself. These man boys are just always doing the same things, the same traditions, the fantasy drafts. For fantasy football, I don't know if they even still do that. But you know what I'm saying? It's always the golf tournaments and the softball and this, and it's just another excuse to drink. And they talk about mindless shit. Everyone's trying to impress everyone with immature jokes, degrading women, degrading ethnicities. I mean, this is real talk. I mean, I don't want to be around that shit. I don't crack racial jokes. I don't crack women racial dirty jokes like that. Have I? You bet your damn ass I have. And I'm disgusted at myself that I did. We all have. I mean, I shouldn't say we all, but we all have. I mean, except for the very, very minority. And that's what life's about. It's about improving. But you'll only do that if you sit back in the rocking chair with some quiet, maybe some coffee, but you can't have the TV on. You got to have some time for yourself to just think about yourself. You know the things that are bugging you. And if you're one of these man boys, sit down and say, okay, what's the one thing? For a lot of guys, one of my big ones I don't talk enough about is temper. And I think the temper comes from all the other things. Like that's how we see the effects through the temper, through our demeanor. That's why I said earlier, I feel like I had a giant stick pulled out of my ass because I did. So man boys, yeah, I guess there is a man boy problem, but I mean, you could avoid some of these. I just avoid the stadium. I avoid bars. I avoid. But I guess that's not the point of this video. Now that I think about it, the point of the video is just another. It's another wrapping of just do better for yourself. Act better. Try to have like some standards. You don't have to be this perfect stoic guy. I mean, you could if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. Always love. Don't give everybody all of your thoughts, and try to think. Am I embarrassing my family? Am I embarrassing my wife? I mean, there's a difference between having fun and being lovable and being crazy and zany, or yelling and screaming "f you" at a Bills game 20 times because the ref got the call wrong, and now you're arguing, and now you're fighting 3 rows over while your wife's trying to grab your arm. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're that guy or that gal, person, whatever, and you got that major thing that you're sit down today and say, all right, what's one thing I can start digging? Just start addressing it, and you too will have the stick pulled out of your ass just like I had mine. Wow, they said that on the internet. All right, I'm gonna end there. I'm gonna get the car in the garage here before I say something else stupid. All right, guys, I love you all. Like and subscribe. I hate saying this. It's cringy. There's gotta be another way. If you like it, come back. How about that? And I will see you in the next one. Be good to yourself. One more check. All right, let's see what this looks like. We're talking to the people. We're checking. We're talking about man boys. Let's see if I get this over here. Get me up on a good side. Yeah. Put that fucking thing. It's always in the way. Come on. Wasting all this time on this shite. This is why people don't do it. Because they lose their inspiration. They lose their nut. Here we go. Let's see what that looks like. Checking 1, 2. Check. Checking 1, 2. And the joke's on you. I don't know why I said that last video. Getting a little weird. Check 1, 2. See if I'm too low. Let's see what we got. Look at this.